because his feet were hurt in Canada. Now, Rick is doing a lot better now, but as we watched him through the practice...
Oh, Mario with a problem. Mario by the edge of the course. Doesn't look like anything. The car looks in good shape. Maybe it's just a pull-off. The safety team is there.
He's been running fifth. A solid performance. This has got to be a major disappointment. It's stuff like this that really affects the championship.
Now we'll see whether he has a mechanical problem or whether he's just trying to get him. He doesn't seem too excited about it, so I'm inclined to think maybe he has a mechanical problem.
Sam, it's stuff like this. It doesn't just affect the championship. It really affects Mario.
A career, possibly. We know we're looking in the last few years of his career now.
Let's get an update on the problem here from Jack Arute.
Well, it was very simple. Mario Andretti radioed into his crew that the engine started to misfire. A big backfire, and then the engine just stopped.
Oh, what a terrible... Look at there. Look at disappointment.
And they made an adjustment to the front wing.
So an adjustment to change the aerodynamics on Rick's car. Now, this car, number 6, Mario Andretti, they have displayed the black flag to him, and you can see the reason. He's spewing some vapor at the back of the car.
That's oil, Paul. Anytime it comes out blue, that's definitely oil. We just can't tell right now whether it's the transmission or the engine.
Bobby Posey, what a devastating blow.
Oh, absolutely. But I just want to quickly make the point that Mario Andretti is running a Chevrolet engine, as are all the leaders in this race right now. Chevrolet engines have only once completed a 500-mile race. That one a less demanding race on the engine than this one. So there's a big question mark. All the Penske cars run Chevrolets. Mario, Little Al, and if it's a problem that might strike the rest of them, this race could be turned upside down in a hurry.
Okay, Sam, but just one quick note on that. The smoke is coming out awfully low. That's normally where the transmission, so it may be the transmission instead of the engine. Usually it comes out of the turbocharger, the engine, but not always. Let's see.
Well, Mario Andretti stays out. The smoke gets worse. Al Unser Jr. But look at this. As he comes along, Little Al, he accelerates strongly. So
dropped out shortly after that with a transmission problem. There have been no serious accidents during this race. A couple of drivers have spun off course, including Pancho Carter and Howdy Holmes, but it's been a very safe race to this point. On the racetrack, running in 11th position, car number 20, Bruno Giacomelli.
Andretti has slowed, Bob. I don't know if it was a matter of just Arie Luyendyk getting the advantage going through the first corner, but he definitely slowed down. And now there's fire coming out of the top of the car. Mario heading off course. I think the day is over for the Beatrice Lola.
You're absolutely right. He's taken the escape course, and there is fire coming from the top of that race car. And he is pulled away from the fire truck. It is approaching him right now and will be there momentarily. It doesn't look like that Mario is in any danger whatsoever, but he is waving to the fire trucks to come and assist him and get the fire out. Mario Andretti's day is over, and he will not be the winner of the Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix.
Well, he had popped coming down the front stretch just as he was beginning to decelerate for turn number 1.
It is on fire.
Yeah, the burn is quite healthy at this point. It looked like it was right on the top of the block. It's not where you fill the fuel. It was right off the top of the engine compartment, so no way of knowing at this point exactly what happened. But it did make a noise, almost like a miniature explosion.
Now we have an interesting...
We go down to Larry Newberg.
Well, Jim, the story is a sad one, but it's very short. Mario coasted in with no power. It was very quiet down here. All the crews were kind of scratching their head, trying to figure out what could be wrong. Mario had radioed in that the car simply quit. There was no blown engine involved. They are guessing electrics. But when he coasted in here with no noise coming from underneath the bonnet at all, there were a lot of long and sad faces. They don't really know yet, but they're optimistic they can get this fixed. Back to the Danny Sullivan situation,
They want to continue. They're also hoping to make their hometown of Columbus, Ohio, kind of a center for motorsports. Car off the edge of the course, and it is Mario. Mario Andretti sits off the edge of the course. He was running in second. His daughter Barbie, disappointed. Mario was going for 2 in a row. We have no idea why he's sitting by the edge of the course with the engine shut off. Could it be fuel? Not likely. 21 laps ago was his last stop.
Now, obviously, it's going to be some sort of a power, either the engine or the powertrain, because it just quit completely, and he didn't coast very far with it, Paul.
Mario waiting for assistance from the course marshals. Gary Gerald, you're in that pit. Can you give us an update?
Well, the one word we heard, they believe it's electrical, Paul, and it looks like it's a terminal problem, and the man who was leading the points chase trying to get 2 in a row sits on the side.
And Carl Hope.
see now the top three have kind of stretched out a little bit on the fourth place, which is Allenser Jr., but still a good battle for the lead here with the first three spots.
Danny Sullivan, who's run up front in so many road courses this year, continues to run up there right now, following Bobby Rahal, and somebody is missing. It is that man. It is Mario Andretti, the points leader so far for 1986. He was first passed by Sullivan, then passed by Rahal and Pancho. This did not sound like a good pit stop.
No, it didn't. In fact, the engine didn't sound like it was running quite right when he came in, so I don't know if he's experienced something similar to what Fittipaldi has with an electrical problem with the engine or not, but it looks as though the crew is getting ready to pull the engine cover off and take a look at it. So it's really a shame, because it looked like Mario had his competitors pretty well in hand today.
Boy, it's been an up and down season for this guy. 2 years ago.
Right behind him is Michael Andretti, and then Rick Mears. Up to the top of the hill, a blind corner into the corkscrew. And look at that. As they sweep downhill, Derek, the first couple of times, as look at Mario Andretti pulls to the side of the circuit.
Must be something mechanical, because he suddenly slowed. It's like as if the engine is completely gone dead in that car. But Andretti, another disappointing day.
Well, disappointing not only for Mario. There's a contest held among the motorsports journalists on who will finish higher, Michael or Mario, each race. And Michael Knight, the publicist for that team, said that for the first time this year, more journalists chose Mario to finish in front of Michael. Now you ride on board with Michael, who
Take off like a rocket, and Mario Andretti is coming into the pits. Something apparently went wrong with that car as he got on the accelerator after the yellow, and Mario Andretti screeches to a halt in his pit area, and he may be suffering some serious problems, or perhaps just a tire problem. Here's Gary Lee.
It looks like the wheel lug has come off the left front. Indeed, the left front wheel was loose and almost off the car as Mario brought it in. They're going to top off the fuel, change the right rear, change the right front, and now go to work on that left front. So indeed, under the yellow, he was able to bring it back in. Had he accelerated on the green, it could have been a disastrous effect, because that wheel would have come off. Now again, they're working with the impact wrench, trying to secure the left front. Andretti wraps the throttle on the number 3 Budweiser Lola, and they're still working on it. They still cannot get the lug nut to go on. Now they're changing nuts. They've got to the 3rd lug nut. Now they're twisting it on by hand, and that one's not working. Andretti trying to watch what is going on from the cockpit. He spent over a minute now in the pit area. The car is still jacked up. There's a quizzical expression on some of these crew members down here. And again, they go to a lug nut, the 4th lug nut. This time it works. The impact wrench has it on. The jacks are down, and Mario with a very, very long and very costly pit stop.
So Mario Andretti, who was running 3rd, is now several laps behind as he gets back out on the racetrack. But again, bad luck has struck Mario Andretti and the Newman Haas racing team.
Is that coming from Tracy's car? Because we know he is retired with a mechanical failure, but the front of Al Jr.'s car is normally white. And that is very definitely well covered in oil.
Oh no, Mario Andretti, who was doing so well in 5th place, sits by the edge of the course. Fuel maybe? Couldn't be.
Well, now that allows Fernandez to move up to that 5th place, and then Bozell, Scott Goodyear, Johansson, and Rahal all behind him, as Scott Sharp now moves up into the top 10.
So Mario...
Pit road. The battle continues at the front. Here's Mario as he comes into the pits. And you can see a display of smoke. Is this another engine problem? Mario Andretti was running in 3rd place. That means Little Al will move up in the order.
He has some sort of problem, Paul, and it just shows you again the price of poker or the price of racing here at Michigan is very hard on engines. This is the one thing we knew coming in. Mario gets out of his car, he's broken, most likely the engine.
Rick Mears continues.
Bobby Rahal dominating this race here today. Oh, and Mario Andretti has blown a tire and spun off the course. A situation very similar to Al Unser Sr.'s. And it looks like he may have had some contact with the guardrail because the right side of that wing, at least in the back end of the car, may be displaying some damage. Now the white flag does come out, and so Bobby Rahal is on his last lap. Tough break for Mario. Very, very...
These situations from Jackaroo.
Well, Paul, that tow vehicle has completed its task, and now the Newman-Haas entry, they have to go, the crew has to go to work with their task. They're changing all 4 tires. They have assumed that the possibility is that in the electronic system that the black box has gone awry. They've brought a brand new box out. They're going to pull the bonnet and the side pods and make the exchange here. Disappointed, Mario Andretti has lifted his visor as the crew has gone to work on the right side pod. They've removed it now, and they're going to make the exchange, pull the black box out. In the meantime, Kevin Kogan, who was having a fine run, has brought his car onto pit road. He has a problem with the pop-off valve. They are continuing to work just 4 pits ahead of Mario Andretti. What a disappointment for 49-year-old Nazareth, Pennsylvania Mario Andretti, hoping to turn things around here, but it does not seem to be the case, as they are now going to work, led by Colin Duff. They're going to exchange the box and hopefully restart the engine. Back to you.
Well, you know, Johnny runs his team leader, and Groff had done a lap of 129.5, and Rahal only 129.9. Oh, look at Mario.
Mario slows on the main stretch, seems to come back to speed, but no, that engine is done for the day. Does this predict something for Mansell? Mario Andretti slowing on the main stretch, continues past the pit exit, and now comes back up to speed. What's that all about?
No, he's not up to speed. Oh, Buddy Lazier is off. He's on the dirt.
Rahal, rather Mario Andretti, as he comes into the hairpin, he has fire on at the back of that race car. Similar to a situation that we saw earlier today in Formula One. Mario Andretti is pulling the car to a stop in front of the pits, and you can see the water being poured onto the engine. The fire appears to be out already. Mario climbs out of that car. Unbelievable developments here in the late stages. Rahal is still on top through all of this, but the car in second place, Danny Sullivan, has been black flagged, very possibly.
14th place came in. They had to change a shock in the rear suspension of the car, so he is well behind the lead. And Mario Andretti slows it down. Running in 3rd place, Mario Andretti slows it down, and now only Ari Landijk is the hope for the Ford engine contingent. As Mario Andretti pulls it off the race course, his day is obviously over.
That's really bad for the Fords. You know, they really made the horsepower in their engines, but they just don't seem to have the reliability. Now, of course, we don't know that that's what's happened to Mario. It's an assumption when they quit here at Michigan that you have an engine problem.
Well, at Mario's age, you wonder how many more hurrahs, so to speak, he will have in his career. I know he has brought such passion, such totality of commitment, never let up in his 30 years of racing. You wonder how many more chances he has to win a race. It's really sad to see him drop out right here.
Mario Andretti's 40th DNF in 63 500-mile races.
Yes, and Paul, he's here today.
There is Al Unser Jr., who has gotten everything tightened up and is back in competition. Let's go to Gary Lee for this call of the Mario Andretti stop, and there may be a problem.
Be a stop per se, and yeah, it's a stop, but he's not going back out at least immediately. The engine is dead. There is no power from the Chevrolet, and that would put Bobby Rahal back up with a chance to win his 4th in a row. Andretti is climbing out. The day is over for Mario Andretti, who had totally dominated this race. He had a 20-second advantage at one time. He came in for what was going to be a pit stop about 2 or 3 laps early. He shakes his hand, throws his hands down in a disgusting motion, and he wants a little time, I know, to collect his thoughts. We can see also the frustration, the disappointment in his eyes as we look through the opening in that full-face helmet. The crew was prepared for his 2nd and last pit stop. He was scheduled to come in about 2 or 3 laps. He really caught the crew by surprise when he came in, but the power was off in the Chevrolet.
Mario Andretti has got to be saying, let's get this year over with and go on to 1988. It has been a very frequent scenario with Mario Andretti dominating a race until the latter stages when he drops out of competition. That is the situation here at Laguna Seca. Mario Andretti is out. Michael was one of the first out, but the race continues, and we'll be right back.
Boisel.
As Boisel comes out of the pits, Mario Andretti slows down on the track. Hopefully not the end of his day. Came out of the pits and slowed down.
It's hard to believe that we see Mario again running slow on a 500-mile race. He had been the fastest car on the racetrack, averaging above 228 miles an hour, and it is over. Incredible for Mario.
He pulls in on a part of the old road course here at Michigan International. His final 500 has come to an end. He was so much in this fight. Mario Andretti alone out on the backside of the track. And Al,
a winner of his 4th Indianapolis 500 this year, currently running in 3rd. He is 3 laps behind the leader, Mario Andretti.
No. Whoa. Look at that. Mario slowing on the outside, on the right side of your screen as Al ducks in underneath him. And all of a sudden, there's a possible reality here. We are hearing that CART, the sanctioning body, is listening to the motor of Mario Andretti, and there is something wrong. Mario's dropping way back. The crowd here is suddenly on its feet as Al Unser gets right past Mario.
Mario obviously has problems. He's slowing down, Sam. We don't know how serious it is yet, but the first guesstimation that we always think about is that he must be having engine problems. Now it looks like he's coming low. Maybe, well, he didn't there. I thought maybe he was going to duck into the pits. Well, let's see. If he's got something that's wrong that they can't help in the pits, he'll obviously stay on the racetrack.
Also, by staying out one more lap, the same sort of thing Sullivan did at Indianapolis, if there's anything they can do to organize for his pit stop, this gives him another 40 seconds or so to do it.
He's pulling down.
Go into the pits, but there's something bad in there.
Well, I don't know how you two feel about it, but when you talk about emotional gut feelings and watching Mario in the lead, you're almost waiting for something to happen.
Well, he's clear down at the bottom of the racetrack. He's got something terminal wrong with that car. He's to the point of what we call really slowing down now. The car is not going to continue much longer. In fact, my guess is he'll probably be in pretty quick. Now remember, if an engine is an 8-cylinder engine in these cars, if it's running on just 7 cylinders and will sustain itself like that, they'll continue on. A 500-mile race is so important to do that. But as we can see Mario now, he's under the white line. That's terminal, and he's finished now.
Michael is now...
that crew doing extensive work on a race car. And there is Mario Andretti, Bob.
Mario Andretti, the leader of this race, is stalled on the course. That's going to give the lead to Kevin Kogan. And the question is, what happened to Mario Andretti? He is stalled on the racetrack.
Well, it's certainly much too early to consider that to be a fuel problem. As Andretti sits there silently, Mario yet to win this year. He finished 2nd at Cleveland, and in the latter stages of that race, he was the driver running behind Rahal. Most people thought he would catch Rahal. He also finished 2nd at the Michigan 500 and 2nd in the season opener at Phoenix.
Well, the disappointing year continues for Mario Andretti, and here is Al.
Of judgment could be very expensive to little Al.
Tries to come under him once again, and Mario shuts the door.
And what's that?
Mario is slowing down.
Big trouble.
The bad luck continues to stalk Mario Andretti.
Paul Newman can't believe it. And there is our new leader once again, Al. And there's somebody hit the wall.
Boisel hit the wall down the front straight. Jones and Mears coming behind him. And then the leader, little Al, as well have a white.
DNF this year.
And so Kevin Kogan. Oh, and we have the leader spinning. Mario Andretti hits the wall in turn number 1. What happened? Did he bump something, or did the wing just fly off?
No, I think he possibly might have blown a tire. It was right here on the front stretch, and I think what happened is when it did, it took the rear wing off of it. It looked to be a very, very nasty accident. Could have unfolded, but as it looks like Mario is, backed in very hard into the first turn wall and gone down into the inside of turn 1 now.
Boy, another tough break for Mario. This guy is... He's unbelievably talented as a
race driver, but things just seem to happen to him, and they are attending to him down there. The Horton medical team, safety team, is there over Mario, finding it blue on the machine and knocked the rear wing off. And when you have no rear wing, you just can't hardly control the car. Let's take a look at it.
Maybe we can see it here because he's down here on the inside of the track, and there was a loud bang that we could hear from up here in the booth. Oh, no, it's a rear wing, just comes right off the car and jumps up in the air. And as you can see, Mario's got his hands full. That takes a lot of the downforce off the back of the car. And you can see where he's going to make his initial impact here. Very hard into the outside retaining wall. Possibly have stunned him or knocked him out. And he's sliding along here, and it does end up coming to rest against the inside concrete wall.
So it was not a problem with the tire at all, but rather...
This is the way it should be. 3 different manufacturers fighting for the top 3 positions. Mario's in trouble.
He slows down. It looks like the engine has let go, and Mario's career might come to an end prematurely as he heads for the pits, streaming some vapor and some moisture from the exhaust pipes at the rear of the car. Mario Andretti, 407 IndyCar races, and it ends like this. Decades of racing. Mario breathes deeply, hesitates to climb out of the car.
You know, it's funny, Vince Granatelli is a very practical guy compared to his dad, Andy Granatelli, who was so emotional in these racing situations. Now, you see, I think that was a glance at Mario possibly starting for the pits. Mario on the right of your screen, he's not starting for the pits.
Oh my goodness, it's happened again.
It has happened.
It has happened again, and you can hear the crowd responding. Lady Luck has reared what is to Mario her ugly head at Indianapolis again.
That shows. Don't count your chickens till they hatch. The bad luck has followed Mario again. This is kind of sad in many ways. Mario is going to feel worse today than he has in probably most of his losses, Jim.
Millions of racing fans prayed only that Mario would get a fair shot, a full run at it. It looked so good for so long, and there now is the leader, and Katie knows it as Roberto Guerrero tries to turn his bridesmaid status into that of a champion.